Hello everybody, Senior Engineer, MBA, and investor. In today's video, I want to talk about Verve Therapeutics moving forward in different regions of the world. Of course, I'm making this video while we're having our recession. The markets have been down. I'll be honest with you guys, the last past 10 months, I've been really seeing a lot of reds across the markets. We have had stocks that were up 80, 90%, 100% in 2020 and in 2021 are now down 80, 90% in some cases. It's quite brutal. But the point here is that despite all these markets decline, despite the recession, despite the macro environments, such as the Russia invasion in Ukraine, inflation rates, Fed rates, and so on, we do have good news for CRISPR, right? And of course, here, Yair, our good friend, Yair of this community, published this tweet. And I was going to make a video yesterday. I just got way too busy and decided to make a video today on it. Verve Therapeutics announced its clearance of its CTA application by the UK Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, Verve 101, as potential treatment. The UK CTA is part of a global regulatory strategy established by Verve Therapeutics for clinical development of Verve 101, which includes a cleared CTA in New Zealand and an anticipated regulatory clearance for IND application in the US in 2H, second half of 2022. So this is really good because we are in an interesting time, right? We are in a time where everything about CRISPR is moving forward. Right? This is why I titled this video such as that, CRISPR moving forward, because we are in a special time where we have so many good news about CRISPR, right? We have Verve Therapeutics moving forward with dosing their first patient a few weeks ago, middle of this summer. We have Caribou publishing data for their CBO10. We have NTLA breaking records with the NTLA 2002. We have potentially CTX001 submission for FDA approval by the end of this year. Literally in the next 2 months, we're going to get some sort of response from CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex. Vertex, Big Pharma Vertex, which is 60% owned by this company, Vertex, with CTX001. But my point here is that we have so many good news, and despite these good news, you got so much bad reaction in the market. I want to remind people that this is not a CRISPR specific or even biotech at this point. This is really macro. This is really the macro trends. Because every time I make a video, guys, I always have something good to say about CRISPR. It's crazy. It's crazy how, if you look at the last 20 videos or just look at the last 30 videos, you're always going to get things that I've said that things were going good for CRISPR as a whole, as a technology. Whether that's private companies, whether these are public companies announcing more data, announcing, regulatory agencies approving their programs and for regulatory purposes, or even these agencies giving them priority or designations rather. So we have a lot of good news, right? The only really bad news, I would say, the only really bad news about CRISPR is that we have yet to have any sort of data from a company like Beam Therapeutics, which is an amazing company, and we know their technology. Verve Therapeutics is literally using their technology, but yet we have yet to get any sort of data. I've been told by some folks in the industry a few months ago that was completely normal. But the more we move forward with the FDA hold on Beam 201, to me, things are not looking so good to me. But of course, this may just be a one-off. This may just be really specific to that program, and we shouldn't worry too much about it. Again, they have Beam 101 going for them. Again, yet they'll dose any patient. But I would say that beside that type of news in the last 10 months, and if you exclude everything and anything to do with Editas for obvious reasons, everything has been pointing towards the right direction, guys. All these companies are moving forward with their program. Everything that we talked about in the last 2 years, things are coming to fruition. Even Graphite Bio dosed their first patient. Graphite Bio, the company that delayed their program many times, or at least one time in this earlier this year, or was it last year, end of this last year? I don't remember when it was, but they delayed their programs. Things were looking south for CRISPR, but things are looking really, really good for CRISPR. And I think a lot of our viewers have to be reminded that. I got one of the comments the other day saying, well, you know, if NTLA data was so good, how come CRISPR is down? Well, that's what I'm getting at. You know, this is the downside of the stock market. You know, it's that there are a lot of correlations. A lot of correlations. You know, people don't like saying that. You have these hedge funds people coming on CNBC and saying, "Oh, you know, I'm hedging." That's the keyword. I'm hedging against this industry or that industry by investing in X, Y, Z. I don't want to break it for them. You know, I don't want to be the downer here, but in reality, you know, we're all hedged on the same thing. You know, it's literally, there's so much correlation. I mean, it's very hard to have an asset that's completely uncorrelated with other assets, especially when you're in the stock market. You know, there's so many factors that are so correlated. I mean, you share the same currencies, you share the same population, you have these companies living under the same umbrella of some nations. I mean, there's so many commonalities that correlation is to be there. And again, because we're in a recession, these types of news will not boost up CRISPR. But even despite that, if you take a look at these companies, since May, some of these CRISPR companies have been up 50, 60, 70, 80% since their lows in May of this year. So there's some bright light. There's some light in the tunnel there, guys. I hope you guys are hanging on. I know it's really a bloodbath out there, but you guys gotta stay strong. You know, always research. Look out for these news. You know, try to communicate in a sense where you don't let these macro environments cloud your judgment. Right? Again, dollar cost average. Look for the long term. Hopefully you guys are doing exactly that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll end this video like this. Do subscribe if you've not. Like this video if you found value, and I'll see you guys in the next video.